All right, let's jump right in. We're about to pull back the curtain on the internet and demystify the basic code that builds every single website you visit. And we're going to use these awesome handwritten notes to guide us.
So you might be thinking it's some kind of complex digital magic, right? But honestly, the core idea is surprisingly simple, and it all clicks into place when you hear this one great analogy.
Okay, so just think of a website as a car. Seriously, it's got a fundamental structure, the metal frame. It's got a visual style, the cool paint job and decorations, and of course, it has an engine that actually makes the thing work.
So let's take that car idea and run with it. We're going to start by breaking down the three core languages that build pretty much every single site you visit.
So here they are: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. See how they fit together? HTML is that metal frame, the absolute bare bones structure. CSS, that's all the style, the paint job, the stuff that makes it look awesome. And JavaScript is the engine, the logic that makes it interactive. You really need all three working together for the websites we use every day.
For today, though, we're going to focus on just one, HTML. It stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Just remember this, it's the skeleton. It is the foundation that everything else, and I mean everything, gets built on top of.
Okay, so if HTML is the skeleton, what do the bones actually look like in code? Let's pop the hood and take a little peek.
And here's the wild part. Every single web page, I don't care if it's a tiny personal blog or a huge site like a major news outlet, it all starts with this exact same basic structure. It's like a universal blueprint for the web.
First up, you've got the HTML tag. Think of it as the big box that holds everything else. It just tells the browser, hey, everything inside here, that's one single web page.
Next is the head tag. And this one's pretty cool. It's kind of like the VIN number on a car. It holds all this important info for the browser, like the title you see up in the browser tab, but you don't actually see any of it on the web page itself.
And then we get to the body tag. Now this is where all the action is. Everything you can actually see on a web page, the text, the pictures, the links, all of it, it all goes inside the body. This is where we start building the visible parts of our car. Okay, we've got our frame. Now let's start adding the fun stuff. You know, the doors, the wheels, the seats, the parts that really make it a web page.
So the first thing you need is a title, right? That's your H1 tag. It's the big main headline for the whole page. Then you can use H2, H3, and so on for smaller subheadings to break up your content and guide people through it. And for just regular text, that's where the P tag comes in. It stands for paragraph, and it's your workhorse. You wrap your text in it, and boom, the browser knows to show it as a nice, clean block of text. This is what pretty much all written content on the web uses.
All right, this next one is huge. The anchor tag, or A tag. This is literally what makes the web a web. It's how you create links. You use this little href attribute to tell it where to go. And just like that, you're connecting pages together. Let's be real. A page with only text is kind of boring. So we need pictures. And that's what the img tag is for. You just tell it the source, the SORC, of your image file, and it pops right onto the page, making everything way more interesting. So look at this. This shows the whole process perfectly. The browser takes this simple text file with all our tags, and it turns it into the websites we know and love. It's basically a translator, turning code into a visual experience.
Okay, so we've got our frame, and we've got our parts. But how do we organize it all? How do we group things together so it's not just a big mess? Well, you've got two main tools for that, div and span. A div is like a big moving box. You use it to group big chunks of your content together, like a whole sidebar or the main article section. But a span, that's for tiny things. It's like putting a little highlight around just one word inside a sentence so you can change its color or something. Big box versus tiny highlight. That's the difference. Okay, you might be thinking, why does all this structure stuff matter so much? Is it just to keep the code clean? Well, no. It actually has some really powerful real-world benefits that you'll definitely care about. And here's the big one, SEO, search engine optimization. When you use the right tag for the right job, like using an H1 for your main title, you're giving clues to search engines like Google. The easier it is for Google to understand your page's structure, the better it can rank you in search results. It's that simple.
And it's not just about search engines, it's about people. Take images, for example. When you add something called alt text, you're not just telling Google what the picture is about, you're also helping people who are visually impaired. Their screen readers will read that text out loud. So good structure makes your website easier to find, sure, but it also makes it usable for everyone.
So there you have it. We've gone over the basic frame, the key parts, and why getting that structure right is so important. You now have the blueprint for the entire web in your hands. So the real question is, what are you going to build?